How to successfully grow corn in a small container. This is what corn seeds look like. Sow seeds directly into your planter pot. After that, don't forget to give a very light sprinkle of water. Under ideal conditions, most varieties of corn seeds will germinate within 4 to 8 days. Corn seeds start to germinate. Corn first leaf appear. Corn seed success germination rate depend on seed's quality and seed age. Corn requires soil temperature between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius for germination. When growing corn using seeds, it is common to have some seeds fail to germinate. On average, corn seed viability are about 2 years. Soil I use to grow corn contain cocoa peat, red burn soil, micro, fine sand, old humus, and charcoal. Or use a high-quality potting mix, potting soil, or container mix that's available to your convenience. As long as you use well-drained soil, you will be fine. Corn grow best in loam soils. According to the University of Arkansas Agricultural Division, corn grows best in soil with a pH range of 5.8 to 7. If your soil pH is above 7.5, you can use aluminum sulfate or sulfur to lower it. If your soil pH is below 5.8, you can use limestone or wood ashes to raise it. Soil pH issues commonly occur in farm environments due to factors such as heavy rainfall, crop growth, fertilizer application, and oxidative weathering. The pH level of soil directly influences the availability of nutrients to plants. Certain nutrients become more readily available to plants in acidic soil conditions, whereas others become more accessible in alkaline environments. You can test soil pH using electronic or digital soil meters, as well as pH indicator test strips. Container size I use to grow corn, height 45 centimeters, width 40 centimeters. When growing corn in container, please make sure the container have good drainage. Fail to do so will promote root rot. You also could start corn indoor and transplant later. Transplanting corn can help extend the growing season, allowing for earlier planting, or for cooler climate is to get a jump on the growing season. When transplant corn, please be careful not to damage corn root. Fail to do so will resulting transplant shock. For my climate, I water my corn plant daily. I make sure to water my corn every morning to support healthy growth. On average, for this growing season, my water usage is 2,000 milliliters daily. Since my plant is outdoors, I skip watering when it rains. Water usage depends on container size, container type, weather, and climate you live in. Be careful not to overwater corn. Keep the soil moist, not waterlogged. In my experience, overwatering tends to be more common than underwatering. The amount of water you use might be different from what I use. To grow strong and healthy, corn needs full sun exposure throughout the day. Corn thrives best with a minimum of 8 hours of direct sunlight each day. In partial sunlight, corn tends to grow at a slower rate. When growing corn, my daily high temperatures typically reach around 33 degrees Celsius. The minimum daily temperature when I grow corn is around 23 degrees Celsius. My corn is grown in a tropical climate where temperatures are warm year-round. Corn is an annual plant, meaning it completes its life cycle in a single growing season. Corn is typically propagated by planting seeds directly into the soil. Corn is a type of grass. Corn's scientific binomial name is Z. maize, which belongs to family Poaceae. It believed corn first domesticated by indigenous people in southern Mexico about 10,000 years ago. Since corn is a heavy feeder, regular fertilization helps support its vigorous growth and high nutrient demands. I start applying fertilizer to my corn as soon as it enters the early vegetative stage, specifically when the fourth leaf starts to show. I'm using a water-soluble, nitrogen-based organic fertilizer. I feed my plant with fertilizer every week. I apply fertilizer to my plant during the early morning hours. I prepare the fertilizer according to the instructions, then water the soil around the base of the plant. For more information about agriculture nutrient management, visit epa.gov/agriculture/nutrient-management-and-fertilizer. I don't use any pesticides when growing corn. A frequent disease affecting corn is anthracnose leaf blight, which is caused by Calototrichum graminicola. To manage it, use resistant hybrid seeds or rotate crops for at least 1 year. You might also come across anthracnose stalk rot, which is caused by the fungus Calototrichum graminicola. Another fungal disease to watch for is common rust caused by Puccinia sorghii. Corn smut, caused by the fungus Eustelago matus, is another common issue you might come across. You might also come across eye spot caused by Cabidiella Z. Another fungal disease to watch for gray leaf spot caused by Cercospora Z matus. To learn more about corn disease, visit fieldcrops.calories.cornell.edu/corn/diseases-corn. Some common pests you may encounter when growing corn include armyworms. These pests damage corn by feeding on the leaves, typically during the night. In corn cultivation, cutworms are a frequent pest that harm plants by feeding on the foliage, leaving ragged holes. European corn borer damage depends on larval age. Young larvae consume tassels, whorls, and leaf sheath tissue, whereas older larvae tunnel into the stalk, ear base, or cob. Some common pests you may encounter when growing corn include the seed corn maggot, which damages newly planted seeds by feeding on their contents. To learn more about corn pest, please visit fieldcrops.calories.cornell.edu/corn/insects-corn. Corn is monoecious plant, meaning that each plant produces both male and female flowers. Pollination occurs when pollen is transferred from male tassel to female silk. Corn is primarily pollinated by the wind, which carries pollen from the tassels to the silks. Each silk, which is a strand of tissue that extends from the female flower, corresponds to a single potential kernel. Partially filled ears are usually a result of poor pollination. If you are planting more than one variety of corn, do not plant the seeds within 30 meters of each other, or you will run the risk of cross-pollination, which can result in bitter harvest. Corn ready to harvest when the silk on top of the ear are brown in color and slightly dry instead of green and almost sticky. To harvest, pull the ear sharply downward. It should easily detach from the stalk. To store my corn, I leave the husks on, put the ears in a plastic bag, and keep them in the vegetable drawer of my fridge. This method usually will make my corn last at least for a week. Corn is best harvested in the morning when temperatures are cooler and the kernels are freshest. The total weight of the harvest for this growing season is 765 grams. Thank you for watching.